And Himanshu is with SmartVault, who is our sponsor for this episode. And we certainly appreciate your sponsorship. We appreciate all the speakers being here, appreciate the attendees being here. I'm speaking kind of fast because we do have a lot to get through. My biggest thing, I'm not sharing my slides yet, so let me get that going here.
And so, as Gary mentioned, today's sponsor is SmartVault, and with us is Himanshu Padey, who is developing something new for SmartVault, and they want to tell us all about it. So, Himanshu, we're going to let you just share your slides and make your presentation. And welcome, and we again appreciate your sponsorship.
Thank you very much. Now, let's see if I have as few or as many issues with sharing as Gary did. Uh,
Hopefully fewer.
there we go. I think that should take care of it, right? Can you guys see my screen that says hello, we're Smart Vault?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
go on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, everyone. Thank you very much, Murphy and Gary, for the intro. My name is Himanshu. I'm the senior product Smart Vault. I'm a senior product manager at Smart Vault. Too many words. I've spent most of this, not only this month, but earlier part of this year, working on our QuickBooks Online toolbar integration that we are about to launch probably in the next couple of months. And I'm super excited to share with you this exclusive sneak peek into the Smart Vault toolbar for QuickBooks Online. Let me first introduce you to Smart Vault if you've never heard of us. Probably rare that you haven't heard of us because we've been to a lot of scaling new heights, a lot of seminars and trade shows where we have, um, sorry, the poll question, not my train of thought, where we've got booths all the time. So I'm sure most of you guys have seen us uh, around those shows. But SmartVault, we're a cloud-based document management system and a client portal platform that was specifically built for accounting and bookkeeping professionals. And to be completely clear, the day I started in 2008, and our first integration was with SmartVault and QuickBooks Desktop. That was our initial product launch. So we know QuickBooks, we know tax software. We are primarily focused on the accounting and bookkeeping worlds. Whether you're managing client files, collaborating with your team, tracking expenses, invoices, or preparing for tax season, SmartVault helps you stay connected and secure and compliant. Like I said, we launched about 15 years ago and have partnered with Intuit for the last 10 years. We have over 500 million, I would say probably 750 million documents stored on our platform. We are actually the only DMS that fully integrates with Lacert, Pro Series, Pro Connect coming soon, as well as the QuickBooks Online and QuickBooks Desktop that we've had forever. We've built the document API for Intuit. Our platform is very reliable. We have a proven track record. We have a 0% downtime during tax season for many, many years. We're also SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. That means that we support compliance with FTC safeguards as well as IRS 4557 requirements, meaning your client data is safe with us. Not only all of that, our support is all US based. They're all based in Houston, Texas. And they provide a variety of services such as data migration from your previous software, account setup, technical support, just open-ended questions if you have about the product. There's somebody always there to help you and answer your questions. We'll go on to the next slide. You'll have to forgive me. I picked up a summer cold this last weekend, so I'm sniffing. So you probably love QuickBooks Online for managing financial data and financial transaction, but when it comes to handling client documents and storing source files, collaborating securely, it can feel a bit limited. That's where SmartVault comes in, right? Our new toolbar integrates directly with QuickBooks Online, so you can link source documents, or actually I call it attached source documents, to those transactions. You can organize the files, automate document workflows, all in one place. It's a smarter, more secure way to manage the full document lifecycle without ever leaving your accounting ecosystem. By using SmartVault with QuickBooks Online, you can overcome file size uploads because we allow up to a 2 gigabit per file upload to whatever transactions that you want to attach. And if you want to attach 3 files that are 2 gigs in size, you can do so. There's no limit to that. We also have unlimited storage, so you don't need to worry about I'm going to run out of space. SmartVault's templating engine, which is another feature, uh, allows you to create folder templates that can be applied to all types of clients. For example, once you create a template for, say, a partnership client or an S Corp, all you need to do is create a partnership client and the template will be applied. There's no more need to go in and manually create folders for a particular type of client, grant permissions, set up notifications. All of that stuff is handled automatically. That's what I mean by some of those workflows. Again, we are you have unlimited storage, so you can attach your documents and store them with those QuickBooks transactions as long as you want to keep them there. It makes it very easy for going back 6 months later or a year later or 5 months, 5 years later and say, hey, why did we spend that $9,000? Do we have any evidence to support that, right? Or if you have an audit that comes up, an auditor can easily go through each of those transactions and easily see which documents you've attached to those transactions. So that's where it makes awesome tool for auditing and reference purposes alone.
So, Amanchu, before you get to the toolbar, let me just
Mhm.
ask you, are there limits as to the types of documents that can be moved?
We pretty much allow almost any type of document. Most business documents, like your office documents or Google Sheets types of documents, if you have downloaded them. Uh, uh, what else I was going to say? Excel, Office, PDFs, right, as well. The only types of files that we don't want to have in Smart Vault are executable files, meaning that those that can actually run an application, right? Because we don't want to accidentally put a virus in the system. Because if somebody uploads an exe file that may contain a virus, we want to prevent that from happening. So we don't want to infect anybody's stuff, right? So
Okay, yeah,
so
great.
that otherwise we pretty much allow any kind of file. One other file type we don't allow is for sure is the database type of file. So if you took your Outlook file, which most people with Outlook Online don't have it anymore, but historically people used to have Outlook with like an ODB file. They'd want to store their Outlook file in Smart Vault. We don't allow that because that's a database file. There's no use for having a database file inside a Smart
Okay,
Vault. Okay. So using Smart Vault means that documents can be centralized. So team members or clients don't have to log into QBO to access those documents. They can pull everything from Smart Vault as long as you've given them access. So that's what I mean by control over centralization. You can grant access to clients and give them explicit access to see certain folders that you want them to see. You could also segregate access by firm members. So if you have certain team members that are only working with certain clients, you can specify saying this team member can only see this set of clients. So we are at that level where you can set it up so that team members can be restricted as well as clients can be restricted. So using Smart Vault with QuickBooks Online, you don't need to waste time downloading and uploading documents. It improves your workflow and saves time. Now let's get on to the preview. So hit pause because I think this automatically starts. There you go. Oh, stop. All right. So I have a transaction open in QuickBooks Online on the left-hand side. It's Bob's Burgers. I think it's Bob's Burgers uh, as my vendor. And you'll see 3 icons in this SmartVault toolbar. One of them is the paper clip that means to attach. The other is just a document, which means I want to view documents that are attached already to this transaction. And then the third icon is the inbox. I'm going to show you the first part real quick, and I hope I can stop it in time. Oh, no. Sorry. There you go. So here, if I have documents that I need to attach to this particular transaction, I can click the paper clip and I can drag and drop or browse to that file on my computer and upload it and attach it to this particular transaction. That way, it stays in Smart Vault. When you upload it and attach it to this transaction, it gets stored in Smart Vault along with that transaction information, so that the next time you open this transaction, you'll be able, oh, I don't know why my PowerPoint is doing this. Excuse me. Bear with me, please. There you go. View document. So now when I see a number on that document icon on that toolbar, when I open a particular transaction, I can tell that there are two documents that are already attached. So if I'm auditing this QuickBooks Online file, or I'm auditing a certain set of transactions, if I go in and open these transactions up as an auditor, I can quickly click on that document icon and see what documents are actually attached to this transaction. These are your source documents or evidentiary documents that you need to have in order to justify that transaction for whatever reason, right? So I can come in here and see, okay, I've got an expense for a team lunch and desserts for top players. If I want to look at the details about this particular document, no, I can do that, and this will tell me when that file was created in SmartVault, what it's attached to, the details of it, and so on. If I want to rename it, I can do that as well. If I want to download it, I can do that as well. So it's very helpful for me to say, okay, I've got this transaction. Somebody wrote a check for $7,000. Why did we write this check? Well, let me go in to see if there's anything attached. I can see that there's some sort of a reasoning document that tells me why we spent that $7,000. Now, the last one, I like this one. This is one of my favorite features, which is called attached documents from the inbox. The reason why it's my favorite is, especially for bookkeepers, and I'm going to give you guys a use case rather than try to explain what attached documents from inbox is. If I have a bookkeeper and I'm using the SmartVault integration with QuickBooks Online, and I have a client that has 10, 15 different stores around the city or the state, and each of them have their own, each of their stores have their own QuickBooks Online file. If I want to, as a bookkeeper, I want to instruct the managers of those stores to go ahead and send me their daily transactional documents to me via email or whatever other secure method that you may choose, so that I can go through them and start entering those transactions in QuickBooks, right? Well, instead of having to do all of that, now you can just instruct the store owners to say, hey, take a picture of all the documents that are coming in and put them in the SmartVault inbox folder. And as the bookkeeper, I'm going to go through each of these transactions. I can open up the inbox and I can see, oh, there's a couple of documents here that I need to, that are related to Bob's Burgers. I'm going to click on the plus sign and I'm going to move it. And when I click on the plus sign, it'll automatically move that document from the inbox to the Bob's Burgers vendor object. And then it'll get stored up and uploaded into SmartVault. Very easy peasy. That's why I like this feature, because it makes it very easy for the bookkeeper to go through the things that they've got to do. It makes it easy for the store owners to upload those documents to a singular place securely. They're not sending them via email, worrying about personal identifiable information if necessary, and so on. So this is where this becomes a very helpful feature.
Manchu, is this going to be available to every SmartVault user, or do they
Yes.
have to have a specific plan?
No, I meant to say that, but I think I had some slide deck problems. So the QuickBooks Online integration is available across all of our plans. And you could attach as many QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks company files to your SmartVault account without any additional charges. So we don't charge for every company file that's associated with your SmartVault account. And we don't charge for the number of documents that you're attaching to your SmartVault account.
All right. So folks, if you've been looking for a different way to store your documents associated with various QuickBooks, especially QuickBooks Online files, you need to check out SmartVault. And so we're going to launch a poll to ask if you'd like more information about SmartVault. Gary, can you go ahead and launch that poll?
And one other thing, if you're interested in this integration, feel free to go to smartvault.com/QBO as well. You can get there and you can talk to one of our people. They'll show you around SmartVault as well as all the other functionality and features that we offer as well.
All right, so we're kind of running behind today, and so I'd like to go ahead and close out this poll in just a few more seconds, and I'm going to count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And by the way, if you have any questions, be sure you're posting those, and Himanshu can answer those um, after we go on to our next topic. Thank you again, Himanshu. We appreciate you being here, and you got a great looking product there.
Thank you. Thank you. Quick question on this. Do you want me to just type answer to respond to each of these questions that come through in the chat?
Yeah, you can just go ahead and respond to those that are related.
Wonderful.
Yep. All right. So as Gary mentioned, today's topic is all about the conference next week, Scaling New Heights, where the theme is Make It So. And here to discuss that with us today is Heather, and she's going to tell you all about kind of the general things of the conference, like main stage speakers and some of the things for newbie attendees, et cetera, et cetera. And she and Kim will kind of visit about some of those great things that make the conference so special. Heather, welcome.
Thanks,
to
Murph. Great to be
TV
here. Hi,
Talks.
everybody. I see a lot of folks on the call that I know. So hey, and a lot of folks that maybe I haven't met yet, and hopefully I'll get to meet you next week. So my name's Heather Satterley, if I haven't met you before, and I am the Director of Education and Media over here at Woodard. So my job at Woodard is to help curate the content that is delivered by our breakout presenters and our main stage presenters at Scaling New Heights. So I work very closely with the instructors and the speakers that you will see next week to make sure that that their content is deep, actionable training content, and that's really what sets us apart as a conference in our industry. So our theme this year is Make It So. And so what we're challenging folks to do is to, it's great to show up at a conference and you kind of learn a whole lot of things. But what we're really challenging our attendees to do this year is to actually make that change, to take what they've learned, the connections that they've made, new technology that they've learned about, and actually implement it in their practice to drive change within their organization and ultimately in their life. And so over the 4 days, so the conference officially kicks off on Sunday and runs until about 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the 25th. But we do open our registration at noon on Saturday. So lots of people come in early and either go hang out at the pool, maybe they come in and hang out with friends, or they head over to one of the parks in the Orlando area for the day. But Sunday, we kick off bright and early with our new attendee orientation, which starts on Sunday morning. And that's really a place for folks that are attending Scaling New Heights for the very first time. That is a session where you can meet Joe. Joe will leading the session, but we have some of our previous attendees that come in and they do some mentoring and answer questions and help the new attendees to really understand how to get the most out of the conference. So I really do encourage you, if this is your first time attending, to go to that new attendee orientation, and that will be at 9 a.m. on Sunday. After that, on Sunday, we have our annual practice advancement breakfast. So that starts from 10 and it starts at 10 and goes until 11:15. And that is also with Joe Woodard. And that's where he'll be talking about trends and things that he's seen over the years. It's a really great event. We do have breakfast, so you can go grab something from the buffet and take your meal into the main stage area for that session. So I hope that all of you will join us for that practice advancement breakfast. So on Sunday, our breakout sessions, they kick off at noon. So we have our very first breakout session at noon. We actually have 3 breakout sessions on Sunday. So they start at 12. The next one starts at 1, and then we have one running from 2:40 to 4:20. And then at 4:40, we have our first general session where we're going to be inviting Shantae Lowe, who is an Olympic athlete and cancer survivor, who's going to be talking about perseverance and how once you set your mind to something, those things that kind of keep us, those excuses that kind of keep us from getting things done, she's going to be talking about how to overcome that, which is great because I know for myself, when there's something really big that I want to make a change in my life, sometimes it's hard just to get started. So she's going to be sharing her inspirational story about being an Olympic athlete and, medal winner, and how she was able to overcome cancer to continue and achieve her dream, which will be really amazing. So I'm very excited to hear her speak. And then we have our story arc across the 4 days. I just want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Every year over the 4 days, we kind of have a little story arc to kind of help you get through the content, and it kind of helps to have a kind of a seamless experience there. So with our overarching thing of Make It So, on Sunday, really what we're going to be asking attendees to do is to decide what it is that they want to accomplish during the 4 days that we're all together in Orlando. So our story arc is deciding the outcomes that we want to see in our lives. So that's your challenge, that you're going to have that challenge on Sunday. On Monday, we're going to be focusing on clearing the obstacles that are keeping you from achieving those goals. So identifying what is it that's actually holding you back from making it so in your practice, whatever it is, whether it's, increasing your revenue, adding a new service line, onboarding your very first team member, onboarding your 100th team member, whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish in your practice. What are the roadblocks that are keeping you from doing that, and how do you overcome those roadblocks? So some notable presenters that we're going to be seeing on Monday is we're going to be hearing from Jana Etienne, who's going to be speaking to us from the main stage. We also have Joe Woodard will be doing a keynote, and then in the afternoon, we're bringing back Ron Baker, who is going to be speaking about fixing the moral injury that we have put on ourselves as an industry by becoming such a hustle industry. And he's going to be focusing on how do we break that cycle in our industry and heal that moral injury of, making ourselves work to the point where we're all burned out, right? So he's got a lot of really great information and inspiration that he's going to be sharing with us on Monday, sorry. Monday.
Heather, before you go on, I'm going to ask for our first CPE polling question
of
to be
course.
displayed. And again, folks, you can help us out by answering each of these polling questions as quickly as possible. And so we're going to give you about 20 more seconds. This is about the primary conference theme. And I'm going to count that down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we don't necessarily need to display that poll. And Heather, you can go ahead and continue. And Kim, if you've got any comments as Heather goes through this or want to make some observations, feel free to go ahead and chime in.
Heather's doing great.
Awesome. Well, yeah, no, feel free to chime in at any point. I'm just going to finish real quickly with, I think we're through Monday now, so I'm just going to go over Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we can dive in to talk about some of the specifics. And Kim, I'll be interested to hear what are the sessions that you're most excited for. So on Tuesday, we are going to, our theme for Tuesday is setting up the systems and the methodology that is going to help us make it so. So we started on Sunday with what is it that we're going to make so? Then we're going to clear the roadblocks on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to dig into what are the tools, what are the processes, what are the methods that we're going to do to actually make this happen. And so for our morning keynotes, we have Brittany Brown, who is the CEO and founder of Ledger Gurus and just an all-around amazing person who's going to be doing a keynote on how to track the right metrics in your practice to set those goals and actually see the results and achieve the results that you're looking to achieve in your practice. So we're really excited about that keynote with Brittany. And then in the afternoon, we have David Allen, the world-renowned author of Getting Things Done and the Getting Things Done method. So he's going to be doing a keynote in the afternoon. Really excited about that for him to be joining us. I've got my books. I'm bringing my book with me, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to have him sign it. So really excited for that. And then Kim, did you have something to add to Tuesday?
I am just excited about the new meetups. That is something that is totally awesome, especially if you're a niche practice and you want to learn a little bit more, kind of network with your peers, see what they're doing, so see what you're doing. And it's a great time because, you know, you have your map for your vendor hall and you know who you want to see and you know who you want to talk to. So go see them, go talk to them, and then go over and attend those meetups. There's a lot of them that are sold out at this time, but you never know. You might be able to get a spot. You might be able to get in. And then the app, this app is amazing. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to talk about it.
Awesome. I'm just going to wrap up with Wednesdays, which is our final main stage. And obviously the overarching theme for that is go get it done, make it so. So we're going to be wrapping up with actually getting it done together. We're a community, and we're really going to be leaning into it. You're not alone, right? You're part of this amazing community, and we can lean on each other to get our goals, to push our goals to fruition. So we're excited to have Jeannie Whitehouse coming back to Scaling New Heights. Really excited. She's an amazing presenter. Can't wait to see her present. Liz Scott is going to be on the main stage this year on Wednesday. Jason Statz is going to be on the main stage on Wednesday as well. And of course, Joe will be announcing our top secret conference theme for our 2026 conference on Wednesday too. So that's our story arc across it. And yes, Kim, I agree. Our conference app is new. We launched a new conference app this year. It's pretty amazing. Love to have you guys check it out. You can go out to the App Store, the Play Store, and search for Woodard Events. And then you'll see the Woodard Events app. Go ahead and log into that, and then you'll see the Scaling New Heights option to select that, and you just use your login, your registration information to log in to the app. So you can select your sessions, you can sign up for the meetups, and as Kim said, a lot of them are already at capacity, but also, as she said, show up to the meetup area, and if there is space, then you will be able to join. It's just, you know, if you signed up, that will be first come, first serve. We also have a plus registration this year, which has some really cool benefits. We've got walking tours are part of that plus registration. You can upgrade on the ground. So if you didn't sign up for plus, it is limited quantities. So we will eventually sell out of space for that. But a couple of the cool things that you get with the plus is you get the walking tours, which are tours of the exhibit hall that are led by thought leaders like Randy Johnston, Liz Scott, Carrie Kahn. We've got some rock stars leading these exhibit hall walking tours where they're going to take you on a curated tour by topic around the exhibit hall to meet the sponsors. So really, really excited for that. You can't sign up for the walking tours unless you have a plus registration. So if you're interested with that, you can upgrade now by reaching out to info@woodard.com. Or you can do it right on site. And then we also have a special plus lounge, which is in the international suite within the hotel, which is open during the day, where our plus ticket holders can go up and relax with beverage in a nice special area just for them. And then they also get access to all of the recordings for Scaling New Heights. So we record all the breakout sessions, and those will be available to the for the plus registrations. So so that's exciting. Those are all new things that we're doing this year. I'm very excited about that.
I'm
One thing
excited about the class.
one thing I wanted to mention that Heather forgot is that Monday during the general session in the morning, the very last thing Gary will be announcing the Pro Advisors of the Year and the various categorical Pro Advisor winners. So you won't want to miss that either.
That's right. You definitely don't want to miss that. So we're really excited for that. And then you guys will be doing your annual top 100 picture too right after that. So if you are a top 100 pro advisor, you'll want to stick around after that to get the group picture done.
Let's go ahead and launch our next CPE polling question about keynote speakers. And once again, folks, if you can help us out by answering this as quickly as possible, it ought to be really easy. Just go ahead and let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we don't need to show the answer to this. Heather, you got anything else? Or you and Kent ought to be able to talk uh, about these tracks really and what all else is being covered.
I have lots to say and lots to share, and I'm always wordy. So I was letting Heather talk.
No, please dive in. I'm here as a resource for you. So Kim, please.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say, hey, guess what? If you're a newbie, take a breath. Sit back, breathe, because there's a lot of veterans that have been to many, many, many conferences. They'll come up to you, they'll greet you. Like Nancy McClellan says, you're never alone. Okay. She's written many articles about it, and it's great. Have you downloaded the app? The app is absolutely amazing. Not only do you register from your courses there, but you get to see what they're saying. You get to see the PDFs that once you've registered for the class, you get to see the PDFs. Patricia Hendricks taught a class on OneNote and how to take your OneNote and facilitate it for your conference outline. So you can actually put all of your schedule in there, and it will sync. If you use the app, you can make it sync to your calendar. So as you're following in your Outlook, your OneNote, you can also refer back to your calendar. And you follow along with the PDFs and you can take notes. If not, if you're not a OneNote person, make sure you bring a pen. Be sure you bring a notebook because you're going to take lots of notes. Remember though, when you're at conference, you're going to learn all sorts of things. Don't try to come back and put everything into place. Pick 3 things that you really want to focus on and focus on those 3 things. Pain points for your clients, pain points for your practice, pain points for yourself, marketing, pricing, so on. This year, by far, there's more to be offered to you than I have seen in the past. I have always been able to just run right through my courses, and I know exactly what I want. Boom, boom, boom. I'm all scheduled and I'm done. This time it took me 3 days to pick the classes that I want to see. Now, I have some of my favorites that I always love to see, and I have to call them out. You know, Deborah Kilsheimer and Donna Reed, they're hysterical. They're a great group of women, and they are doing empowering clients through focus and education. I'm looking to, of course, see Tanya Schulte laying the foundation, uncovering the right tech stack for the construction clients. Because as you all know, I do niche in construction and real estate. Mariette Martinez, The Goal Getter's Guide to Setting and Achieving Value-Aligned Business Goals. And Nancy McClellan. And Nancy's got a bunch of different things going on. So you need to look up Nancy as one of the speakers, and you'll get to see all of hers. If you do go to her the Tax Ready Bookkeeper a year end review checklist, I will be there. So you will get to see me there. And Randy Johnson. I have signed up for both of his. He's going to be talking about tech and he's going to be talking about AI. And, you know, we don't need to be afraid of AI. AI is cool. Diane Gilson's been teaching a course on AI, and I'm officially not afraid of it. I'm engaging it. It's a lot of fun. So, with that, those are some of the big things that I have taken away. I'm looking forward to reconnecting with everybody and networking and just getting to see all of the great people. I mean, I could go on and on about the different people that it's that you get to hear from and talk to, you know, I guess that's pretty much all I really have to say because it's just, I'm so excited. First of all, I also want to congratulate everybody that made the top 100. I'm so excited to see who our winners are this year. And I'm going to let you go back to Murph.
So Kim, this is Gary. Sorry, there was one slide, I may have thrown you off a little bit.
You did.
Yeah, sorry. There was one slide that was on Sunday. I don't know if that was this one here.
Yes.
Actually, Heather covered that.
Okay, so that's already been covered. All right, I just want to make
Yes.
sure I don't miss something. But then I think now we had another polling question to throw up.
Yes, we can go
Okay,
ahead and throw up.
all right. Matt, if you could do that. There we go.
I would just like to say, Marriott is throwing some really great suggestions in there. You can download the handouts. I actually uploaded all the handouts yesterday, so they're all in there already. So you can, download those. If you're a printer, you can print them out. But they're all in there now. I think there's a couple that we're still waiting on. But one of the other things that Marriott mentioned in the chat that I didn't mention is the Woodard Theater sessions. So we also have we have mini breakouts that are happening at the Woodard booth, which are 20-minute sessions with some of our speakers that are teaching regular breakouts, but also some speakers that haven't presented at Scaling New Heights before that I'm really excited to highlight in the Woodard Theater this year. And then one of the speakers is actually me. I'm going to be leading a Woodard Theater session, I believe on Monday. I think it's on Monday, on how do you become a speaker for Scaling New Heights. So if you've been thinking about it, if you've been thinking, wow, I'd really love to be a speaker and use my voice at Scaling New Heights, I'm going to be doing leading a 20-minute session to let you know what that process looks like, what we're looking for in speakers, and what kinds of topics we're going to be looking for next year's conference. So if you would like to join me for that, I'd love to see you.
The other thing is also Mariette Martinez. She did create a short video to help you out with the app and to talk a little bit about scaling, as well as Nancy McClellan. She's on the MSN. I don't know if y'all get that with your uh, Edge that pops up, MSN pops up. She actually posts an article all the time on there, and it's really cool. She had a great one for the Scaling New Heights and all it has to offer. Truly, you need to go find it and read it. She's an amazing person. Marriott is a great person to listen to. Heather, there is so much information out there for you to make scaling a phenomenal event. It's going to be something you want to go to every single solitary year. I can tell you my first one was in 2014. And I was so scared, didn't know anybody. I was in Texas. I was like, I just drove from Florida. I am intimidated, but here I am here to learn. And I did. And I met some wonderful people whom I'm still connected with today. And Murph was one of them. And my daughter won this big, big, big horse that we had to put in this little teeny car to drive back to Florida with. So sorry, Murph.
I'm going to talk just a minute about sponsors and some of the sponsor types and what you can look for while you're there. I'll give you two or three that uh, you might check out, good or bad. Um, and so the first is accounting platforms, and you know I was really impressed when I dove into Soft Ledger. Um, I found that this actually sounded like a real accounting platform, a real substitute potentially for some people who are using you know what. and want to get away from it. Uh, and so you might be sure to check out Soft Ledger because it actually does look like a full accounting system. Um, all the functionalities that we're so used to having included, but also, some AI capabilities that we've not yet really seen in a lot. And that also brings up one of the groups is AI accounting. And I looked at TrueWind, and some of these, even whether they just call themselves an accounting platform or AI accounting tool, um, they really are kind of what I would call a puzzle. They're they're a piece that you then connect because the first thing TrueWind says is that they're an accounting platform that's AI based, but then the next thing says, well, and then the first step is connected to your existing general ledger. So that kind of confused me as to, well, just how much of an accounting platform are you? But I'm sure they can answer that for you. Business intelligence, AIDR. Well, we're all always looking for a way to be more intelligent in our business. And I've got a friend who really loves AIDR. Um, and it's in reality, it's a close solution. It really helps you close if you have a lot of difficulties using the existing tools. It can get you to a close in a much more timely manner. So that ought to be something you want to check out. Then Woodard has a group they call industry solutions. And folks, these are all the different things that don't really fit into other categories. But one of those that caught my attention was job trade. And it really is a construction application, construction management. It will do jobs and projects and all the computations and calculations for profitability and how your performance and where you're at in terms of if you're doing work in process, etc. So you might be sure to check that out. And then there's practice management. And I've talked to a lot of people about practice management, define practice management, etc. And what I've kind of found out is there's a lot of similarity between practice management apps and workflow apps. But really, every practice management app has to have workflow built into it, or it can't truly be a practice management app. And yet, not all workflow apps are practice management apps. And that's why in July, our topic for QB Talks will be workflow. Then about a month and a half or 2 months later, we'll be covering practice management and show you all those differences and all the best apps because we got at least 10 or 12 of the best apps of each. And so with that, I want to go ahead and have the last CPE polling question thrown up. And we want to know which one of these is not a sponsor type that's there. And as an old teacher friend of mine said, if you ever see none of the above, that's always the answer. And so we'll count that down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to give you a second opportunity if you didn't answer the sponsors poll, or maybe you changed your mind after you got your questions answered. We're going to throw the sponsors poll again. And so if you'd like to learn more about Smart Vault and this new toolbar that they're implementing for QBO and how all that's going to work together and streamline document storage, that has no limits and document storage that can be accessible without having to go through the app, just go ahead and answer yes, and you'll get some information from SmartVault. And so we'll count that down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Gary, do we have any questions that maybe Kim or Heather can answer live? Hello?
Sorry, I am here
Sorry,
on
I was
no.
talking and I muted myself.
Right,
I am
right.
actually in Orlando at the hotel already, and you've seen my grandson running back and forth behind me. We've already been to the pool several times while I have been sitting in here and having fun with the app and planning out my OneNote. Definitely make sure you're just ready to have fun. Dress casually. I know that they're gonna do a day that's, towards the theme with Star Trek. I know that they're doing Tutu Tuesday. If you go by, Alicia Cat Pollock's Royal Wise Owl booth, I know she's giving out, some tutus. Just really engage yourself in the knowledge and all that you have to learn. The other thing I didn't point out about the app that's totally cool is if you go to the sponsor, or maybe I did, if you go to the sponsor tabs, which is the vendors, you can click the vendor, it tells you where they're located on the map, and you can also see the description about them. And then if you go down a little bit further, it'll also show you if they're hosting any events, and a little bit further down, who is going to be at the booth. So if you've made a relationship or a connection with a vendor, person that works for a specific vendor, stop by, say hi, re-engage. Make sure that you're making those connections throughout everything. And you're just going to breathe. When you go home again, take one thing, implement it, do it, for 90 days, take your next thing, implement it another 90 days, same on and so on. Just really have a good time. There's a lot of things. Reach out to the people that have been many, many, many years. You know, ask everybody, what is it that you did that made it so easy for you? The note taking. Oh my gosh, you're going to get chills every time you walk into the main events. They are so impactful, and you're going to leave there crying, and the emotions and the excitement. And you're not going to fail. You're going to succeed because everything you have is right inside you right now. And you're just going to learn more. Scaling is just going to drive you to the future, and it's just going to take you to that one next step up. So really sit back, have a blast, enjoy yourself. And if you happen to be running around and you see me, say hi.
And Gary, do you have anything you want to say about the booth and what all we're doing? I know we're going to have some kind of sticker swap.
Yeah, there's a few things going on at the Insightful Accountant booth. We are doing headshots, so you can come by, update your headshot. I was on a webinar earlier today, and I don't know where they pulled my picture, but it was about it was about 10 or 12 years old. So time to get a current one. We'll be doing that at the booth. Yeah, and then someone is hosting a sticker swap of some sort that'll be kind of anchored at the Insightful Accountant booth as well. And again, Monday night we're having this party. It's open to all attendees, and but if you've not been in the top 100, you do have to pay for that. But like I said, it's $25, so pretty inexpensive. We'll be doing some recording as well at the booth. Heather, there was one question just about, and I think this is probably a good question for everybody. And it said, I can only seem to download the handouts for sessions that I'm registered for. It was
Yeah,
also answered in the chat, but everybody's not reading the chat, so I thought I'd throw that out to you.
yeah, it looks like that's what people are telling me, that are telling me in the chat, is that you have to mark it as being registered, and to register a class, you literally check the little plus sign, and that registers you for the class. So if you wanted a handout that you're not, for a session you're not planning to attend, you're going to have to register it, download it, and then unregister. So it looks like that's what people are experiencing. I went in mine and I was able to access it, but I'm staff, so it might be different for me. So I will certainly bring it back to our team to see if that's something that we can change on our settings, because that does seem like a pain. And if it's something that we're able to fix, then we will fix it.
The other
And then,
thing, Heather, is I'm
yep.
seeing a lot of people not being able to access the web app. I as well yesterday had a problem working on the web app. It kept going down on me. And so I was literally just working off of my phone and off of the app that was on my phone and iPad. So I don't know if
My
that's
My recommendation would be to reach out to either on our website, that using the chat on our website, or, sending an email to info@woodard.com. And our customer service team would be able to help you with that, and at least let somebody on our team know. I certainly will pass it along from you, but if you have any issues, that's what our customer service team is for. And we actually, once you're on the ground in Orlando, we have a dedicated booth uh, for the app. So if you're having any trouble with the app, you have any questions, you can stop by that booth near the registration desk, and someone will help you.
Then there's
And
one other question that I'll jump on to, and that is someone posted it, or any tips as a vendor for the first time. And having been to many of these, I would say, from my perspective, and Kim, I'd like yours as well. It's, don't try to oversell, don't try to pressure sell. Um, this is a very engaged audience, and if you have a product that they need, they will seek you out. um, if you have a good giveaway, that always helps, but high pressure doesn't work. And typically trying to get them to sell your product to their customers doesn't work. Um, so low pressure, just be informative, share what you can about the product, and ultimately, what does it do for them, or what does it do for their client, or both? That's how you're going to make friends and influence people. Kim, you have any thoughts?
I do have a thought on that. And this was actually something I was going to bring up last year. Sometimes when we walk up to a booth and we have questions and we want to engage with them and ask the questions, but there's 15 people all wanting to ask questions at the same time. If they had like a notepad or something that we could put our name and our phone number down or email address and let them know that we would like to ask some questions, we're using their app or we're not using their app, we're interested in their app. That way they can reach out to us at the conference. The other thing, I was told, and Heather, I don't know if you can confirm this or not, but the vendors, their app is different than our app. So they don't have the ability to connect with the attendees. But as an attendee, we can connect with those vendors. So do it. Then you can chat with them, maybe ask some of your questions, and you never know. You might find them in a meetup. You might find them walking in the halls. They might tap you on the shoulder and say something. On your profile, on your app, put your picture. It doesn't matter what it looks like, just put your picture. And that way people will be able to see you. And definitely the vendor hall is a great place, but don't let it overwhelm you. Swag is great. Make sure you bring an extra bag because there's lots of it. But just have fun, and with the vendors, make it simple. Just don't be like that real pitchy, overbearing salesperson, because they're just gonna cloud over and they're not even gonna see you, or they're gonna find an excuse. So I have to use the restroom, and they're gonna walk away. So just be yourself.
so I want to remind everybody once again that Monday night we're hosting our top 100 Pro Advisor reception. And if you've been ever in the list of top pro advisors, we want to see you there. Shuttles begin at 6:30 to take you to Howl at the Moon, and the actual reception starts at 7 p.m. Monday night. And with that, the last thing I'll remind you about is that next month on July 16th, we will be having QB Talks, and Deborah Kilsheimer will be joining me to talk about the best workflow apps. And like I said, we have a dozen apps that we've reviewed in depth
and we'll be presenting that analysis to you so that you can then identify the one or two that you think really will fit your specific workflow requirements. And with that, I want to thank everybody, especially Heather and Kim. Thanks, Gary, for running the thing while I'm out on the road. And I'm going to get rid of or get ready to head on towards Atlanta. And folks, I look forward to seeing you in Orlando.
Be careful driving. Have fun, everybody. See you here.
Yep. And also, we are working on a cruise, so stop by our booth and check out what we're doing with this cruise. We will see y'all in Orlando in a couple of days.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.